Tonight we have Kyle Turley. Played some NFL football here for the Saints, amongst other teams. He is notoriously known for protecting his QB. I want to say it was Aaron Brooks at the time, and launching one of the defenders' helmets down the middle of the field when he was playing offensive line. It's kind of what people know and remember about him. Now he is championing some other causes, including cannabis and how it helps with CTE and things of that nature. So we're very excited to have him on the show today.
There we are.
What's up, legend? Thanks for joining. I really do appreciate it. I think what you're doing right now is super important. You're very well known, brother. You know what I mean? I think most notoriously known for the helmet incident. I remember that happening. I remember I was watching the game. I think was that a nationally televised game?
Yeah, actually, so it happened right after the Diamondbacks, the Arizona Diamondbacks, won the World Series. Randy Johnson was pitching, and so they had just won the World Series. And this period of time of them winning the World Series and all the fireworks and everything going off and everybody's watching that. I guess I was told apparently in every Buffalo Wild Wings across the country started switching over to the fight. And because it went on for a long time.
It did.
It's like a mosh pit, So it was real fun for me. And, here we are today. And the Saints are actually bringing me back. This will be the first announcing it, actually.
Love it. Right here on the Moneyball channel.
Yeah, December 21st, the Saints are bringing me back down to New Orleans. I'm going to be the legend of the game.
Love it.
At the Dome against the Jets.
Right? You can't ask for it any better, man. You can't ask for it any better. Maybe, well, I guess, you know what? Strike that. Maybe if either team was playing a little better, I guess that would be the only better scenario. But
if they'd let me coach for the game, I'll get them a win.
They should give you a headset, brother. They should give you a headset.
Just make me the coach, period. Just let me have the job. I'll win you another Super Bowl. Promise you.
Oh man, listen, you had some good years there. You were a heck of a ball player, obviously coming in.
Lucky seven. It was an incredible day, and Mike Ditka calling my house. It was wild, man. I was like, I didn't think I was going till like 13 to Philly.
You had that killer combine though. I think
I went to the Senior Bowl and solidified my ability to have played in the SEC. Because you go to the Senior Bowl, especially back then, it's all the top tier college talent. And, so I got to play against all these guys that were projected first round draft picks when I was like projected, low first, mid first, high second. And then I went to the Senior Bowl in Mobile and just lit it up, just destroyed everybody in practice and in the game. And, I got some great highlights out of that. And then, went to the combine and just completely dominated and, got the, great job today. You earned yourself a lot. When you did it is at the end of it, when the coach singles you out and all the best talent in the world and says, you just made yourself a lot of money today, son.
That's wild too. That's wild. I mean, and I love that you just told me that story because, I've talked to some other cats through the combine and I think, listen, first of all, to even get that accolade, right, you really have to knock their socks off, man. Like you really, because listen, everybody there, like you just said, they're all about to play pro ball,
Yeah. Yeah, I was 6'5", 309. I weighed 309. I did the bench press was above average. I think I did 26, I think.
Yeah.
And then unless you got the numbers there.
No, I don't, but I'd rather hear it from you. That's why.
Broad jump was, almost 11 feet. My, shuttle drills, all those were top tier. And then my 40-yard dash, or my vertical was like a 36-inch vertical. I won the slam dunk contest in high school. I was a wrestler. Full alley-oop 360.
Boom. Really? You're getting up there, huh?
And I was like a wrestler, and the basketball team was at my high school was real good. I'm from in Southern California. Like they were, top tier. It wasn't a bunch of little white boys. I legit won a slam dunk contest, and then yeah, man. So it's been a good experience, man. I mean, the whole process of it all is quite unique, man. And then I ran a 4.93 40, at 309 pounds.
That's what really I think started turning heads.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the hand times were in the high 4.8s. with some of the scouts, and they were. It's like I said, when you get the coaches saying you made yourself a lot of money today, son, and then you hear the scouts and the coaches on the sideline arguing over what they thought they got on the timer,
Yeah.
and it's in your
Yeah. Yeah.
favor.
Yeah. You know what? I honestly think you were a little bit underrated during your playing career. If you want me to be honest, though, I think that, I think there was what, one or two Pro Bowl nods, if I want to say.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think, I think you were underrated player. Like, listen,
yeah,
you're a
yeah.
savage out there, right? And I think what you did was you intimidated, usually, the offensive lineman, obviously, when you look at like the old Redskins or something, right? The big, the guys who are out there, just the dudes pushing, right? The guys that are the toughest guys on the team, unless you're looking across at the DEs or the nose tackle or something, right? And you squaring up, you were intimidating. People didn't want to go up against Kyle Turley. And I think for years there, I mean, you kind of held that crown. And when I looked, I was really surprised actually to see, one or two Pro Bowls. I was like, this guy's perennial, dude. Because like I said, you are always that guy that would come up in somebody's head when you'd say, who's the best offensive lineman right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was hated, man. I was hated. I played the game. It was a different game back then. It was a war. It's not what it is today. Today it's still violent in the trenches, but back then it was brutal, and we could get away with a lot more. So I made sure I was downfield doing such. I've run into some of these guys I played against, some of these DBs, from the Falcons and these other teams we had to play all the time, and they were like, "We had full game plans just for you." Like we had defensive meetings just to deal with you because
That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah.
yeah, so you're an offensive lineman. That's an honor. That's a badge of honor. Unfortunately, at the time, it was more of the Bro Bowl, as we called it, and the guys that I was dogging, that I was throwing around like rag dolls, and rubbing dirt in their eyes,
Yeah.
and you know, I was spitting on you and telling you, please come to my house.
Right.
I will kill you. I mean, I'm being Neil Smith at the Super Bowl in New Orleans back in the day. I saw him, and he threatened me like after a game, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna kill you and kill your family.
Really?
I told him my address. I said, please come. I can't wait. I'm gonna cut you.
I'll tell you what, man. That dude, I wouldn't mess with Kyle Turley.
We ran into each other in the streets in New Orleans, and I took my shirt off. I was like, let's go right now. Let's go. I'm ready. He was like, what are you talking? He's like, Kyle, stop. I'm like, no, bitch, I told you. You can't say shit like that to me. I'm from,
And not back it up.
you don't know where I'm from, bro.
Dude, you were a true ball player, man. And hearing this stuff makes me like you even more, to be honest, man. I love every minute of it.
That's
Well,
where I grew up in a small town in Southern California, blue collar. My dad was a truck driver, farmer. Drove for Greyhound bus for 35 years. His brother, my great uncle, drove for the railroads for 35 years. We're just hardworking blue collar people.
blue collar guys.
Yeah, man, blue collar farmer.
Who was the farmer? Who was the farmer?
My dad.
Your dad was? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a good segue because we're going to get into the main appetizer here, which is, what you're such an advocate for. It's funny, my great grandmother, Busha, she lived to be 100 years old, man. She had a farm. It was a strawberry farm, which over time became a cannabis farm. And, that's not too far from here. They make all kinds of oils and everything like that. But like, I think after reading and doing enough homework, I think to be able to have a pretty solidified conversation with you about Project Champion and everything else that's going on, man, the points you make are really good. One thing, as we talk about this a little bit, where I do have one disagreement on her is, and we'll get into it, is the 7-Eleven type things or gas station type things. But I think your whole point of all of this, Kyle, and correct me if I'm wrong, is all of the positives that come from it, what it's done for you personally, and you saying, listen, if this is done the right way with the jobs and everything else that it does, man, like wake up, people, right? Like this is an answer and this can solve some problems. So tell me a little bit, if I'm accurate with that.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty accurate. I mean, except for that, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could list me about 10 different things that are being sold in 7-Eleven right now that are
100%.
killing people in the streets, that are breaking up families, that are completely destroying lives,
There's no
addicting
doubt.
addicting people to no end, being the beggar out front just to get some more of that. The problem is that, in this is that there's still this stigma and not being allowed to have the free market of America. Okay. This is supposed to be America. Yep. Without having, you got a show called Moneyball. How can you be in anything in money if you can't have a free market?
I agree.
Okay. So what happens when you have a free market? The cream rises to the top, the trash falls away. It goes in the dump. People don't want trash. Okay. 7-Eleven isn't gonna, I know the talks are being had with Cookies and these other brands and people that I know that are producing top tier premium cannabis products. And that's all of any of us operators that are doing such want is that opportunity. Instead, they've left this water so murky out here.
I see where you're going with this, right? I see where you're going. Yeah.
That operators don't know if they can make those contracts with these type of companies. They just go to Champs trade shows, buy a bunch of stuff off the floor that because they don't know anything about it. They're just business guys trying to sell everything that everybody else wants, yep. Right? Yep. And they're not trying to sell people spice no more, thank God, and all these other bullshit things. They now have an opportunity to sell the real thing. And I'm sorry, but I bought gas station packs, bro, that phenomenal, true to the strain on the bag in Columbia, Tennessee. I'm in Nashville. We don't even, this is the other thing. People think that it's everywhere. No, I'm living in a state right now where I'm a criminal, okay? Unless it's hemp, okay? I can't have my products from all these states I have operations and businesses in, right? I'm American. I got an American flag tattoo on my arm, and I'm a criminal here without hopefully being protected by the 2018 Farm Bill, that allows the business I started here and the other businesses that are around here doing this. They're trying to expose the opportunity. It's not the full opportunity, okay, till we get to things like the Rand Paul Hemp Act, which is something that needs to happen, where it completely levels the playing field. There is no more marijuana. This is a fallacy. This is a racist term that was made up, okay, to demonize a plant that is helping people, saving lives, saving families, getting people back to work. The list goes on. The statistics of the few thousand people in America, the few thousand children that are slipped a gummy here probably by a poor parent. All right.
I agree.
To go deep, just like they're sipping codeine and the whole other things that these idiots out here that these scenarios usually revolve around happen. It's like you're never going to fix the kid at school that's going to just go smoke in the bathroom. Right. It's just that's that kid. Okay. But there's other kids there that are relieving asthma with their vape pens of CBD and THC and all these other things and not on asthma medications anymore. These are real things that are happening. These are reports, and allowing this plant to have its full opportunity and the cream of the crop companies and these other companies to be able to work contracts with us. What are you going to have? You're going to have a $30 billion industry that's been built off of all this garbage and muddy water turn into come on, bro. This is just like oil. All right. This doesn't stop at the vapes, the edibles. It goes to textiles, fuels, materials. I mean, so many other things that this bill in this new thing, this legislation will completely crush every grower. I don't know whether if you period that you can't grow a strain that is going to meet the standard of this bill's testing.
Let me ask you this, and man, I absolutely love the passion. The way that was just described, is very tough to argue with on any level. Even if someone were against, the product, it'd be tough to argue that, to be quite honest with you, because it's already been proven how much good can come of it. And like you said, of course, man, you get anything into the wrong hands, you're going to have a negative result. And I love the fact that you put the responsibility on parents, because that is so spot accurate, dude, right? That's still going to get that kid smoking in the bathroom or whatever it is, because you need parenting. But just to rewind a minute, tell me, for someone who might be a little ignorant to it, what is changing, or what it's federally, right? They're trying to federally change it, not statewide. So it's a federal thing, and they're trying to reverse what's going on, correct? Like all this progress that's been made, and everybody's happy, it seems like right now. So what is going on, and who brought this up to change it?
Yeah, you've only got a few angry people out here still that just got this idea in their head, that nothing adds up to. Okay. But Mitch McConnell is the head of this. He's worked with the alcohol lobby and the pharmaceutical lobbies to do it. He's raised all of the capital to put this whole thing together and put this into this bill and slip it in like literally last minute here. I mean, this is not a situation where this
wasn't a known thing, right?
Nobody knew this was going to happen. This is why I went to DC. I got in my truck. I'm like, I had no idea this was going to even. I thought they put this in there so that they could stretch it out and not reopen government. Because how can you shut down a $30 billion industry?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Built on American soil, American hand dirt. These are farmers. These are hardworking people. People think this is some money tree. If you've ever worked in this industry, you've got no idea, dude. Right. It's farming to the next level. Okay. You can't just bring a combine in and, slice everything up and have these machines that go. No, this is a very, very intricate process to do certain aspects of this business.
And let's be honest, Kyle, any farming is, like you had said, your dad was a farmer, right? I was, I had Josh Allen's dad on the show, right? They're out in California, cantaloupe, pistachios.
Yeah.
It's their livelihood, right? And this guy sat and we talked about the farming and how it kind of, turned Josh into who he is today, right? Because those are the families, the farmers, those guys, man, that also breed this type of people, this type of person, this American, this hardworking American, man. I believe that because, my mom grew up on us picking strawberries on a farm. I get it. Cultivating and the flower and the cannabis, there's no difference to that, right? There's no difference there, man. These guys, that's a lot of jobs out there. I completely agree with
400,000 jobs, okay, that are currently now, if this thing pushes through, 400,000 jobs gone.
What has to happen for it to get pushed through, and what has to happen for it not to get pushed?
It's already gone. It's already through. They're going to implement this over the next year slowly. They're going to use the federal government now to supposedly go after and this industry and implement this new plan, which completely takes every product off the shelf. There's not one topical. There's not one vape pen. There's not one pre-roll, nothing, anything, nothing, patch, tincture, drink, nothing that's going to test compliant under these standards that they've come up with. It's total THC. Farm Bill was 0.34% of Delta 9 cannabinoid. THC didn't matter. That's what opened this door to begin with, okay? The THC has nothing to do with it, okay? It is one cannabinoid, Delta 9. Okay, understand what Delta 9 is. It's in the Farm Bill. It's created this whole monster here that people, what is this? Well, Trump legalized marijuana in 2018. Okay, happened because over half the strains of marijuana grown to full potential, let alone you have 30 days from harvest that you can do your testing. So, and every grower knows the last month of your grow is the prime time. It's prior to harvest. Over half the strains of cannabis grown to full potential are testing hemp compliant. That's why the market's flooded with weed online, and you can get it on Facebook Marketplace right now, and it's real. All the weed that you're seeing on these Facebook lines now, because people are trying to fire sell THC flower right now. That's real weed. Okay. It's the people that understood and understand the Farm Bill and been working in this damn industry for the last 10 years. And now they want to just take our businesses away from us. Okay.
So is what they're trying to do, it's all about the potency. That's what you're saying. And again, man, just so I'm clear with this, and I appreciate you educating me, man, because I needed to hear this.
That's not even potency. Okay. Because you're thinking potency and euphoria. This goes down to THC in any form or fashion. And there's over half the THC cannabinoids are non-euphoric.
Oh, I got it. So you're talking, all the other stuff. That's where you're talking your topicals and the old ladies. And I heard you say the grandmothers and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's insane, man. This is like way more reefer madness than reefer madness was. It's really insane right now.
Well, what it's going to do, man, I think one of sorry to interrupt you, but one of the best points you made was what it's like. Hey, we want to keep cartels out of here, right? We want to keep people safe. We want to keep our neighborhood safe and our kids safe. This is absolutely going backwards, dude. That's going to do the exact opposite, right? Because listen, man, when something's illegal, people that want it are going to find a way to get it, no doubt about it.
We've been here, right? We've
We've
been here.
been here. We've been here.
And this is not new. This is not something new. Okay. This happened before in the 60s. And what did these idiots do with it? Well, we're finding out now. They went to Epstein Island with it. The rest of America, okay, the rest of America has used it to cure cancer and bring it back to what should be and come again, which up until 1934 was the number one prescribed medication in America. Okay. This is nothing new. And we are now at it again with these morons. Okay. They keep coming back. All right. Whether you watch Point Break or
Right.
you watch Matrix. Okay. All right. The 50-year storm, the 100-year storms, those things keep coming. And it's these morons, these imbeciles, and these monsters, okay, that we're finding out about that are doing this. Okay. They did it. Mitch McConnell did this.
What is his problem? I guess to ask in a most bold way I can, what's the dude's problem? Like, there's all these positives coming from, but what's the problem?
I don't know, but it has to do with Kentucky because Rand Paul in Kentucky, Mitch McConnell in Kentucky. Rand Paul stood up in front of the whole Congress and said and told everybody, this is everything I'm telling you. He told to the whole congressional body and stood up and yelled about it. This is going to destroy a $30 billion industry overnight, like literally. If we don't fix this, and Rand Paul has an 85-page bill, the Hemp Act. Look it up, the Hemp Act, Rand Paul's Hemp Act. And this thing covers it all. There will be no more marijuana. There will be no more discussion on whether this is being regulated properly or tested properly or anything. All of these businesses are all established and will have the opportunity to apply through the program, and everything works just like any other business, bro. Yeah. Why is that so insane to people to give that the opportunity instead of saying, we need to hold back and give it all back to the MSOs of the marijuana industry that are ruining states like California? I own a marijuana dispensary in California, and Gavin Newsom, the only thing, okay, because they've completely destroyed the cannabis industry in California. This is like going to Saudi Arabia and inheriting and ruining oil that you don't make money on. Well, this is California. You can export this to 30 different countries. The only good thing that has recently even happened, okay, outside of them putting everybody out of business, except to their monopoly of a cannabis Illuminati, whatever they want to call themselves, all right? Because that's the stuff that's going on every level, okay?
Now, hold on, T.O. there. Are you saying that they're allowing certain people who are paid off, whoever, politicians, whoever, to still get away with it and to cut out the other people, right? With this Illuminati type thing that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's an unwinnable situation for any operator in California to run a marijuana dispensary. They started giving out all these licenses, and after they made everybody fight for them, I spoke in every city council in Southern California over years, okay? From Long Beach to San Diego to Riverside, Orange County, everywhere, okay? I got kicked out of city council yelling at politicians like, who do you think you are? Okay, you're keeping people from having the opportunity to get off of all these other things, which is what we're seeing now. The beverage market go to the money. What funded this, that put this in this bill? Okay, the alcohol industry. They're the ones that funded this and put this legislation in, because you know what's funny though is that these people are so stupid. Okay, they're so stupid that they don't know anything about this plant, that they think they're little drinks because they're at 4 milligrams of THC, and they don't have a problem with that. They're so dumb. They don't understand that to get that 4 milligrams into that can of drink that you now are stacking your warehouses at all these liquor distributors. I've seen them around Nashville and everywhere else down here in the South. They're all ready for this. They've got their own brands. They're going to get a head start with this whole thing, except for that they are so stupid that they don't understand this plant at all. And the rules that they have established on the levels of THC for testing, not one plant. It goes down to, as Rand Paul said, the seed. They're not going to be able to get Delta 9. So what is the other potential here, bro, that needs to be exposed? That they're going to get synthetic. from the pharmaceutical industry.
And that's where, yep, you hit the nail on the head. That's it. And that
This needs to not happen. People don't want synthetic. They're already talking about fentanyl.
sure.
You try to mess with a person's endogenous cannabinoid system. Okay, it's what it is. The number one regulatory system in the human body. It's in our brain. You know? How are you going to give? You're going to start giving synthetics? They've tried that with Marinol and these other synthetic cannabis ideas.
I don't even want to hear the word synthetic, man. It scares me. It scares me. You know what I mean? It scares me. It changes the whole dynamic of everything. When you start talking synthetic, first of all, you're a point decimal here or something here away from that stuff being psychosis. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what you know what I mean? That's
your
not,
body rejects that. Your
yes.
body has been the missing link, okay, from every pharmaceutical. You can go to them, every new pharmaceutical and all the new production of pharmaceuticals are including synthetic cannabinoids. Okay, they've already developed over 400. This is to some of the heads of Johnson and Johnson, Ramco, and all of these other people that create drugs for our country and put them in pharmaceuticals. They're putting synthetic cannabinoids because they figured out what was killing people. The medications were just going through the livers and all that, and everybody's guts and killing everybody and all their organs. Why? Because they weren't accessing the one thing that they needed to access to deliver the medications now without having to go through the bloodstream constantly and into the organs and all this, which is the access of the cannabinoid system. They added CBD to nearly every pharmaceutical that you are taking. If you're taking pharmaceuticals today, almost every pharmaceutical has a hidden cannabinoid, synthetic cannabinoid. It's a hidden CBD in the thing, so it can deliver the medication to talk to your cannabinoid system, which in my opinion is why we're seeing more crazy. Okay, crazy stuff. They want to blame it on fentanyl? I don't think so, bro. They're putting synthetic cannabinoids in medications. Okay, Regeneron, all these others. These are synthetic cannabinoids that they've created that are in all new medications out here. That's what's screwing people up, because it's like drinking. You can't smoke weed and drink alcohol. All right, don't do it. It's not a good idea. This is a real deep thing that is exposing to me more and more of such real nefarious activity by the alcohol industry, the pharmaceutical industry, and the United States government. Okay, because when you get that much support behind something like this, it's going to crush not killed a soul in the history of the world still to this day. I don't care if your kids, friends, cousins had a bad experience and went to the hospital and, got
didn't kill him. Yeah, it didn't kill him.
Pump, some fluids.
No, I'm with you there, man. And you know what's impressive about you is how educated you are on it. You're not somebody just running his mouth saying, "Hey, this is affecting me, so I'm just going to tell you my story." Like, this is me. There's zero selfish anything. There's no agenda here, dude. It's you being straight up, and how educated you are with it, to me, man, is really refreshing, and I'm being sincere, really like kind of mind-blowing. Dude did his homework, right? Like you're not just here yapping, you know what I'm saying? And I want to know, going back to say college or whatever, were you like a casual smoker back then, just recreational or something? Not at all.
Not at all. I committed to the dream. You can't be a seventh pick in the first round.
Okay, well,
on you at all. You didn't have anything on you, man. I mean, I did stuff, but I didn't get caught.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So this though, but it all after the career ended and you started having these other symptoms and everything, that's when you took up the cause, correct?
That's when I had my first cannabis experience, was getting driven home from practice. I was going through a tough time. It was a divorce. It was my second year in the NFL. Hall of Fame player took me home, gave me a joint, and he said, "Kyle, you need to smoke this, dude. I see these trainers are pilling you out and giving you all these. You need to take this and smoke this, bro." I'm like, "Dude, I can't take that. I'm going to test positive on the next drug test." He's like, "No, NFL, it's only one time a year for street drugs." I was like, "What?" It's completely random at NCAA. And so I was like, "No way, dude." So I saved the joint. I went to the trainers the next day and I asked them, I'm like, "We took the drug test, and if I test positive for marijuana, I'm not getting in trouble?" And they're like, "Yeah, they don't test for that after we took it in training camp." I was like, "No way." Yeah. I grew up surfing and skateboarding, and all my friends were the biggest weed growers in high school. They sold weed. I was around weed my whole life. I was around weed in Southern California. I mean, I have friends that did 10 years plus in prison for this plant, and like
100%.
surfers, dude, like, and guys that live in other countries and can't come back because of those things. And so, but I was committed to.
Football.
I didn't need anything. I didn't feel I needed anything. And again, I was raised in church, and I had this inherent, within me understanding of being here for a greater purpose, right? And tapping into that. And so, I tried it in high school one time. We were down at the beach, and my buddy had brought out a bong, and he's like, I was like, I'll take a pull, whatever. But we were out running around, man. We then went hiking down the trails and down to the. I just don't remember an experience of like, I don't need this. You know what I mean? I'm having fun all the time. I mean, at San Diego State, I still to this day have people come up to me that, man, I remember when you were so wasted in college. I was like, nah, I wasn't. I was dead sober.
Really? And you have people coming up and telling you that?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because I was, I mean, doesn't matter. Like, I'm jumping off the roof if there's
Oh,
water.
all right. So you're just that dude. It's just your personality. Yeah. They thought you were because, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So hold on. So that first joint though, right? Let's talk about that experience when you said to the trainers and had that first joint. Was it more of, hey man, I don't feel the pain anymore, or was it more the mental?
Both. It was so relaxing. I hadn't ever had that experience. I never used cannabis to where I had an experience, right,
Yeah.
of being high. And I was like 22 years old, and I was in a very depressed state, going through a divorce at the time, first marriage, and I had a child that was just born, and it was real ugly, and all the money, all the pressure, I was, and then as now I understand, right, and we all now understand that this was also happening. Okay.
Yep.
That game was, something that did a lot of damage to all of us, that
100%.
led to a lot of bad decisions and depression and things like that. I didn't drink. I didn't do drugs. I allowed these people to push these pharmaceuticals. Nothing against our trainers. They're good people. Everybody was preyed upon by this pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
Us out. And so it was like easy to get these painkillers. But having that experience, and then nothing was better about that, right? I wasn't sleeping good. I wasn't, practicing good now. Things were really hard for me, and I was losing weight. And people could see that. So, Hall of Fame player takes me home, gives me the joint. I go to the trainers. I clear that next night after practice. I go home and I smoke that joint, man. I mean, it was just like I could sleep. I was hungry again. I could eat.
I was just gonna say, not for nothing, but
Yeah,
it definitely does that, dude. And
yeah,
that's when you got your cancer patients and the people like that who are having the hard time. Forget the depression aspect, just can't eat. They can't eat food, but they get that zest for life again just because a cheeseburger tastes good again or something. Except this time you're putting Fritos on it or something. You know what I'm saying? You're zesting
yeah.
it up a little. But I can tell you a personal experience, man. One thing with me, man, and it's kind of surprising that I'm such an advocate for it because all of my boys, man, they were all growing, same as you. I'm 47 years old. I'm close to your age. It sounds very similar to my lifestyle I grew up in, but I'm the type of dude that takes a couple puffs and I'm paranoid as heck, right? So I'm like, I'm that guy. And I'm still a huge advocate for it because to me, it's about everything you just said. It's about freedom. But here's the thing, Kyle. If I don't like it, I don't have to smoke it, right? And that's what it is. Nobody's forced on you. As where if you go to the doctor the other way, we got this country out of control with opioid addicts because all they would do is feed athletes or anyone else piles and handfuls of pills.
Well, not only the freedom aspect of this, okay, that what I'm trying to expose is literally the performance aspect of this. Okay. I had the best night's sleep I'd had in months.
Yeah.
Okay. I went on to an all-pro season. The rest of that year had the time of my life. Okay. Because I was able to take away the stress, right, and all that. You know why? Because I had plenty of stinking money that everybody wanted from.
Yep. Yep.
I could just pay everybody and not have to worry about it. And I could buy packs from my boy and get good stuff sent to me from Cali. And I was good. Okay. And I went on and had all pro season. Okay. Made the Pro Bowl, all these things. And it confirmed to me this as a true medicine. Unfortunately, the meds were still so readily given that you develop these opiate addictions at the same time. You're doubling up, the cannabis stuff with the opiates. And the more you take the opiates, the more they preyed upon bringing back. Now, what I know was the depression, right? No matter if that's from a divorce or whatever, now it's from pharmaceuticals. Okay. Now it's from the actual chemicals from these pharmaceuticals that are not only you have all these other real world life problems, but you now have this chemical thing as you've experienced with all
Sure.
those drugs
Sure.
that
No,
you.
you're right. Yeah, yeah.
I know, no offense. I stuck with weed. I drank one beer in my life, and I've had a few tequila shots and whiskey shots playing
Oh, so
music.
you don't drink at all?
No, 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 no. I never have. I've been drunk playing music around the country, and everybody buying your shots all the
Sure.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And people, and then I had a bar and a restaurant in Mexico, and so got to understand tequila and what that can do to you. And no thanks.
So what do people do? How can they lobby against this? How do we stop what's going on?
Well, you can get involved in what myself, Ricky Williams, Jim McMahon, and a bunch of other athletes. We're out here fighting this. We've been fighting this, and now we've got a year to get this changed.
Okay. Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm
so that
personally, fighting for the Rand Paul Hemp Act. It's already done. It covers it all. It's very detailed. I know the industry. I know all of the things in there and what it speaks to, and it is exactly what needs to happen for America. Unleash the full potential of this industry. Let all the trash get sorted out, okay, and let contracts be made with the business operators who've been out here doing it the most, and let it happen. The only thing that's going to happen from this is going to be harming patients. And so, if you truly care about, the fact that within this bill now, every CBD product that anybody has in their home, okay, they're looking for, you got patriots out here, patriots, okay, they're going to look for any excuse to call you a criminal out here, it seems, in this country of ours right now. All right. They're, we're tired of it, man. And everybody should be in deadly fear because you think it's going to stop at the hemp industry. All right. I can sit here and argue my case till I'm blue in the face. All right. At the end of the day, it's coming for you. If you don't understand that, if you allow any person to be trotted upon, okay, in this country, then it's coming to you. It's coming to your business. It's coming to you. Whatever they decide to deem, you're not, you know what? You can't have your podcast no more. You need to be under this umbrella. Otherwise, because now
turns into communism, man, right? I mean, it goes back to you can't tread on me, one of the oldest sayings in the US, right? And it almost sounds like you go that direction. Somebody's telling you what to watch, what to do. That's my definition of communism. I mean, I don't see it being any different.
they're doing it, and they've done it big, and people are asleep, dead asleep to this. Okay, that they've passed legislation in states, and it's in the federal courts and all these things right now. It's a battle still. Okay, and they might win one as well, where they're taking away the gun rights of cannabis users. If they deem you to be a cannabis user, okay, even if your cannabinoid system tests you 3 nanograms over the natural limit or the allowance testing, you're going to be considered a felon now that you have a weapon with you. Whoever's been sitting back here just going, I don't think it's a big deal.
No,
It's
dude,
just,
listen, I respect you. I really do. After hearing all this, man, and I did before, but it's eye-opening. It really is. I respect what you're trying to do. I mean, obviously, so the people know, we got Project Champion, right? And
yep.
they can definitely go out and donate. But I think the biggest thing here that people need to do, man, is to have their voice heard. I think more than anything else, more than donations, money, it's being heard. And I like that you said there's a year because just like anything, then there's hope. I'm going to educate myself more on this, to be honest. And I'm glad you've opened my eyes to some of this stuff, man. So if nothing else, because this is going to go out to a lot of people, and if for nothing else, it's going to
Yeah.
open a lot of eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it, Matt. Thank you for the platform. Yeah,
Sure.
champion.org. Please donate because this money goes to the people that we have on the ground. We've got great lobbyists that we've worked with over the years that need help because the cannabis industry is not being supported. That's why this happened. You've got this discrepancy right now of marijuana versus hemp, and people are dead asleep. Okay, it is against the entire industry that this
They're almost turning against each other, right? I mean,
want. They
yeah.
want us against each other while they're going to slide this type of stuff in there that in the middle of the night is going to kill everything. And they don't know that that's what they're coming for. They think, oh, they're going to get it sorted out and this, that, and the other. It's not going to happen. Go to projectchampion.com. We need to be able to get these people to these senators constantly, daily, printing materials, all these other things, and we've got, I think there's tabs on there for like, $25 or, whatever. Again, this is going straight to
it
legal.
all helps. Yep. It's going to the right spots. Nobody's throwing that in their pockets.
Yeah, no, this is a legit team of people. I'm able to get in my truck. I'm able to drive to DC, meet people on the ground, and go to work for them.
It's pretty badass that you did that, by the way, man. I got to give you a shout out. That was pretty badass that you did that. Like, you heard this and you were like, listen, I'm driving to DC. I'm like, if there's ever been a better reason, then somebody tell me, right?
I went and did the New Hampshire primaries last winter. I jumped a plane and in the middle of I got a call in the morning. Hey, Kyle, could you go to the New Hampshire primaries and drive around with these, with our people? Yeah. I'm like, on a plane tonight, no problem.
We didn't even get into the fact that you and the band have opened up for Eric Church and George Jones and Hank Williams, dude. Like, that is insane. We didn't even touch on that.
Yeah, man. I'm playing a show Saturday at Kimbrough's Pick and Parlor, Franklin, Tennessee. Anybody out there? I'll be at 7 p.m. I'm gonna play about 45 minutes at legendary Kimbrough's Pick and Parlor in Franklin, Tennessee. Iconic, nostalgic. Area location, produced so many country stars, so many hits have come out of these little bars around here that I've been able to live around and go, play open mics at. And
some of the Printer Alley type stuff, right?
Yeah. Super cool, man. Being here in a music town, having a talent, and being able to use it, get out and go do something. There's no waves here, right? There's no ocean.
Right. Well, no, man, listen, getting to know you a little bit, and I can see the passion you really are. And I say that in the highest regard, bro. Man, and that's what makes you unique. That's what makes you Kyle Turley, man. You've lived the life of four guys at age 50. You really have, man. The things you've done. And I'm saying, like, 50, dude, you've lived and you're living and you continue to live, man, and you won't just sit back and I respect it. I really do, man. I can't thank you enough for coming on, man. I really do.
Please know that. It is not anything else. I go to the gym like everybody else. I could like everybody else, but I have done one thing that for the last over 10 years that I have not taken one pharmaceutical, and I've only used cannabis. I'm not doing any of this other stuff. The cannabinoid system is what everything has to access. You get that in balance and understand how to operate that and use cannabis as the true medicine that it is. There is no recreational marijuana. None of this stuff's going to be recreation. It's going to be like, this is literally the opportunity at universal healthcare. People must understand this. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother, for the platform.
You got it, man. Anytime. We'll catch up soon. All right. Thank you. Have a great night.
You got it.